What is up, everybody? Janelle here with 2-minute movie reviews that I've been trying to do for like 2 hours. That's the knock of not having any scripts or anything like that, or not editing your videos. Anyway, also I'm super excited because both these movies are straight from my childhood. I love the Avengers movies and stuff like that, but I actually wasn't into the Avengers as a kid. Whereas these two movies, not only did I have the comic books, not only did I watch the cartoons, the VHS was given to me and I rebought them as an adult on DVD. So super excited. The first one is X-Men Apocalypse, directed by Bryan Singer, and I love this movie, except this is the first Marvel movie where I say it needed more action. I would have liked them to add like 10 minutes onto this movie and give us 2 major action scenes along with a little more action instead of just the one. I know why they did this though. It's because it's the second installment. It's an information movie. There's a lot of connecting information, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of setup. They have a lot of spin-offs. So that's why it was action light. I just wish it could have been just a little bit longer. I love all of the recasting except Jean Grey. Sorry, Game of Thrones people. And it's not because I saw her as Sansa. I just didn't like her for 1 minute throughout the entire movie. She didn't emote enough for me. I did not connect to her. At the end when she had her big display, I gave 0 Fs about her big display. Sorry. Hugh Jackman is still Wolverine, by the way. They kept him. I think there was too many Brits on set because Fassbender and McAvoy, all of their accents kept kind of poking throughout the movie. It was very inconsistent. So maybe too many Brits on set. There is a scene after the credits, so please don't leave. I recommend it for the entire family. It was great. Boom. And that's my review in a minute of X-Men Apocalypse, directed by Bryan Singer. And next up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, directed by Dave Green. I love this movie so much, despite all of the obvious downfalls. The first one, the inconsistency of the size of the turtles. Yes, they're different in the comic book to the cartoon to the movies, but pick one and stick with it. In this movie, there were some times where he was the same size as the humans, just a lot bigger. And then there's times where he was like giant compared to the humans. So just pick one and stick with it. Also, Splinter is not like half the turtle size. He's pretty much just as big as they are. He's a huge ass rat. So that was inconsistent. Also, Leo, Rolf, and Donnie are pretty much the same size. It's only Mikey who's smaller because he's the baby. In this movie, they had Mikey shorter. They had Donnie all skinny. What? Nerds can't be buff? Oh, this is going to be longer than a minute, by the way. Nerds can't be buff? Oh, of course nerds can't be buff. So Donnie should have been buffer than that. And then they had Rolf like massive. He was huge like the Rock in freaking G.I. Joe. No, they're Leo, Rolf, and Donnie are pretty much the same size with small differences. Rolf has a scar on his face. His little bandana's all ripped up because he's been through some things. But other than that, they're not, the size differential was just too much for my taste. Other than that, the dialogue was very shallow and very simple, too simple. The Turtles dialogue they worked the material very well. I think it's because the voice actors had chemistry because they've been together. It's the same actors. So they were able to work it well. Also, Seamus and Williams as Bebop and Rocksteady were really able to work that dialogue too because they're basically douchebags. So even when they were live people and when they turned into the Warthog and the Rhino, the dialogue still worked for them. Everyone else, it was the actors who actually just made the most of that material. Actors who were under-promoted. Tyler Perry, Laura Linney, of course, Will Arnett, Stephen Amell. So I thought they under-promoted these actors who really made the most out of a very shallow script. Also, they gave Shredder an actual person. In the last movie, he was a guy like inside of a metal suit. No, Shredder's a real guy. He's just infused with ooze. And this time they actually casted him as a person who had lines, who had a face. So it made me connect to Shredder more, which made me more emotionally invested in the movie. And then, of course, when they brought out Professor Krang, that's when I realized they were doing the cartoon. I was like, they're doing the cartoon. They're doing the cartoon. So, because there was complaints that the script was really simple. Well, yeah, that's because they're doing the cartoon. They're doing the cartoon plot line. Krang was there trying to put the arc capacitator together. He always gets like 98% completed, and then the turtles foil his plan, and then the thing breaks up and goes past them through the black hole. And that's what happened. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, so if you're like me and the Turtles were your jam when you were a kid, you're gonna love this movie despite the downfalls because they are doing the cartoon and the actors are great, all except the biggest downfall. I didn't forget your girl, Megan Fox. You're lucky I love the rest of the movie so much. I'm actually going to give them a pass on Megan Fox. She's the worst part of the movie. That's just all there is to it. Also, April, she never really used her body to get her story. She was reckless because she always had the turtles there to get her back. So she was just had no fear. And that's how she got her stories. She didn't really use her body. Although this is 2016 and we know that reporters do sometimes use their sexuality to get the story. And I have no problem with that. So I'm willing to accept that a little bit if you give me the yellow jumpsuit. I needs me the yellow jumpsuit, okay? If you're gonna be sexy, get you a sexy yellow jumpsuit. I needs my yellow jumpsuit. Also, lighten her hair up, maybe get some red highlights or something because April is a redhead, okay? If you're gonna make us accept Megan Fox as April, I needs me some red hair and I needs me the yellow jumpsuit. And that is all. I love the movie. Take your kids because they're doing the cartoon plot line, so take your kids, the whole family, and if you're like me, an adult who grew up on that cartoon, you'll probably love it too. Boom, I recommend it. So that was my review in like 3-4 minutes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let me know what you thought of those two movies, any movies you're looking forward to, any movies that brought you back to your childhood like that and just made you smile. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.